Hey guys, welcome back. I'm really excited for today's video. We're going to be playing with a few of the things that I got on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I know it seems like that's been a while ago, but I had a few things that I got and I wanted to wait until I could show you guys. So most of the things we're going to be using today are from Physicians Formula. They were doing it was either like 30 or 40% off. I think it was like 40% off on Cyber Monday. Physicians Formula for a drugstore brand can be pretty pricey, so I really was looking forward to getting a deal on some of the goods, and we're gonna be playing with those. Also, today is the first day that I am using some of my new equipment. I think my last video I had used my umbrella lights, and now today I have my new Canon camera, and also for Christmas my boyfriend got me a wonderful Rode microphone, so we are using those today. So hopefully you guys will see an improvement in audio and video quality. Keep in mind that also means that there's probably going to be some user error and just kind of adjusting the settings, so feel free to leave me some constructive criticism. Constructive being the key word there down below, but I'm really excited to be bringing you guys hopefully some more quality content. So let's jump in and see what we've got today. All right, so one of the things that I got was this Physicians Formula MURUMURU Baby Butter Box, and I remember seeing, I think it was Emily Noel doing a review of this, and this has a little bit of everything in it in these great travel sizes, which is going to be fun because I already love the butter bronzer. I'll probably just use my full-size one since I have it. It is actually in the regular bronze shade. I almost wish that they had had a little bit darker one just because I already have the regular bronzer shade, but that's all right. And then we have the highlighter, a duo of eyeshadows, and a blush. And I have not tried any of these. We also have like a eau de toilette. What are they? Yeah, that's what they're calling this one. So I'm excited to smell that. I'm sure it's honestly probably something that's not going to be super long lasting, but it is nice to have something that probably has that sort of summery scent. And then one of the MURUMURU Butter Lip Cream. So I have heard so many good things about these, so I was really excited to get this kit. I did get this kit that is also the Brazilian Pout Lip Kit. This had 3 of the lip creams. As you can see, one of them's missing because I did already crack into this one at the salon. Sorry, I couldn't wait. I didn't have a lip color on me for some reason, so I cracked into it, and this one I've already tried. But we do have 2 other shades, and then we also have this limited edition sleeping mask. So I think I'm going to throw that on just for some hydration while we're doing the rest of our makeup. So that will be really fun to try. And I did also pick up the other shade of the sculpting bronzer. If you guys saw my other video where I used the bronzer stick and the liquid blushes, I did get the darker shade. I thought online it looked like a cooler shade. I think I was looking at swatches or something, but now that I'm looking in this box, I'm not quite sure. So I'll pull that one out so we can compare, but those are some of the things we're going to be using. And then I also picked this guy up. I'll see if I can actually get it in frame. This is a kit of brushes from Wet n Wild, and this was a little holiday edition. It's the 10-piece brush set. I got mine at Walgreens, and the full price was originally $30. They had it on sale for half off when I bought it, so it was $15. And I believe right now I saw that they are clearancing out of all of their holiday kits. And I thought that $15 for 10 brushes was a pretty good price. So I wanted to try this out for you guys today in case I think it's pretty good quality. And hopefully they still have some at a Walgreens by you and you can snag it. All right, so I popped my headband on just to keep my hair out of my face. I'm hoping that it don't get some weird crease, but otherwise I was probably gonna end up tucking it behind my ears. And you guys are witnessing one of the like 4 times that I straighten my hair throughout the year, and usually 2 of those times are because I'm going to be cutting it, which is exactly what I plan on doing tomorrow. I'm gonna head into work and give myself a little trim. I am a professional hairdresser, by the way, so it's kind of one of those like do as I say and not as I do, so don't be out there cutting your hair on your own. Now, I don't have an actual Physicians Formula like base product like a tinted moisturizer or a foundation. I thought maybe I did, but I'm going to instead go through with the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid Foundation. So I picked this up because this is one of my all-time holy grail foundations. This was the Maybelline Dream Wonder. They don't make this anymore. I keep this bottle to like sort of keep checking consistency and finish next to it, but it's not the same thing. This was just such a beautiful like satin finish. I loved it, and they discontinued it, so now I bought this thinking that it would maybe be the same, and it's not, but it is still nice. It's a little bit fuller coverage than I would like. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some of this Rosé All Day Oil-Free Serum in and make a little cocktail so it is a little bit more like a tinted moisturizer because I don't want anything too heavy. I'm really just kind of going for a let's pretend like it's summer, sort of like bronzy, glowy look, since I feel like all of the products we have to use today are kind of going to be within that realm. So when I bought these, I guess I never looked super close. I thought that this sort of crystallized inside was just made into the plastic. If you guys can see in there, these beads are all loose, so it's like a little like maraca. But this is going to be kind of fun to use. I really think that these feel nice and soft. We'll see. I have a feeling that it's not very stiff, so I don't know how it'll be for blending out, but we'll be using all of these and hopefully be able to get a great look with it. So I just put a little bit of this oil-free serum on the back of my hand. It does smell a little bit like rose. I got that as a sample from Ulta, and I don't feel like there's a lot in there, so I almost had to like dump it out, but should be just enough to kind of sheer this foundation out a little bit. That serum does have like a pinky shift to it, so it should give us a bit of a glow as well. And I don't really need a lot of this product because I feel like it's fairly good coverage. Yeah, this brush is really pretty flexible bristles, so the one thing about that is you're not going to get like a really buffed out blend. Now, before I get carried away, let's go ahead and try out this lip mask. If you guys have watched recent videos, you know that I love the Bite Beauty Agave Overnight Lip Mask, so I'll be interested to see how this one compares. This smells good. It doesn't smell like I expected it to though. I thought it would be more like coconutty, and it's more fruity, like guava. Yeah, it kind of smells like guava. Just a tiny bit more waxy than the Agave Plus, if you've ever tried that. This will be really nice to try. Like I said, this was a limited edition, so I'm not sure if the only way you can get it is in that kit, and I will look and see if this kit is still in stock, and I will leave a note letting you guys know. I think this will be the only limited edition product. The little eyeshadow duo is probably just a great way to try their eyeshadow formula because you do have a matte and a shimmer. So that'll be a nice little trial, but they do make a ton of palettes as well. And I never really apply concealer with a brush, so I'm not gonna do that with one of those Wet n Wild ones. So we're just gonna go through with my Beauty Blender blusher as always. Wow, I don't know if you guys can hear her, but our dog must be like right above me here. Her bed is pretty close to here, and it sounds like there is someone like vacuuming above me because she's snoring, and it's just like It's super funny. All right, eyebrows are darkened and set into place, face is set, and now we're ready to get into it. Also, I took my headband out. It was really starting to give me a headache. I don't know if my head is getting bigger or what, but I got all the liquid stuff out of the way, so we should be pretty safe. So then I get a bunch of stuff in my hair, but let's talk a little bit about the sculpting bronzer. All right, so this is Mocha, which is the new shade I got, and this is the mystery shade. They only have 2 shades, so this is the original one that I got. I'll swatch both here and we can see what the undertones are gonna look like. I remember when I used this one, I felt like it's really more of a bronzer than like a contour, just because it is a bit warmer, and I thought maybe the darker one would be a little bit cooler, but yeah, it's cooler, but it's also much darker. You guys can see that. So we have the original one that I got, and then this is Mocha, the darker shade. So let's go ahead and give this a whirl, and hopefully a light hand will give us a great contour. By the way, just talking a little bit about these Wet n Wild brushes, this one I think is nice for like a soft blend, but it isn't as firm as I would usually like. I did go ahead and use the big powder brush to set. Usually I would use something a little bit smaller for underneath my eyes, but this did the job just fine, and it is really nice and soft. Now, I really do like using synthetics to blend creams out, so I think that this little contour brush is going to be perfect to be able to do that with this contour stick. I think what I'm going to do is just put it directly on the brush, and then that way we'll get a softer, hopefully, effect with this. So I'm just tapping it right onto the brush. Okay, so we will just blend this in throughout. Yeah, that's got some pigment. Now, I think if you're like a medium skin tone, oh, you know what? That's actually not too bad. It's definitely really, really pigmented. So I would say a light hand is definitely needed. And unless you are like medium to deep skin, I would not directly put that on the face. I would just go through and stipple it right onto the brush and then go in, but it does have a nice undertone. I do think it's a little bit cooler than the one that I used in the last video. So this mocha shade is a nice option. And if you guys can tell, I did not even bother trying to cover up that breakout. It's not even a breakout anymore. It's just pigmentation from where that silly thing was. And I just don't care because I don't have time for that. And honestly anymore, and I think as far as breakouts go, I would rather just, I guess she's up now. I guess I've found that as I get older, I'm a little bit more comfortable in my skin, literally and figuratively. So if I have a blemish or two, honestly, I would rather just have my skin look more, like my skin makeup look more lightweight than try to pile on a bunch of heavier coverage to make it look, you know, flawless. I am planning on doing a no makeup look where we do work on perfecting the skin, if that's something, you know, that you want, is that like flawless, I'm not really wearing makeup, but I just happen to look super great. I'm gonna do that in the future, so that'll be a video coming soon. But for me right now, I'm okay with just putting on a little bit, and good enough is good enough. This does really blend out super nicely, and it does dry down to like a powdery finish. It's not tacky at all. And this brush worked really well. And the kit did come with this little baby butter bronzer. Like I said, I'm not gonna crack into this one. I do have the full size, so I'll either save this for a giveaway or maybe take it on vacation just because it would be a really nice size to travel with. And I don't feel like I need to go into too much detail on this bronzer because I have talked about it several times. This is probably my favorite drugstore bronzer. I really personally like the scent that it has. I know some people aren't all about that, but I do really like it, and I like that it has a satin finish. And now I'm already feeling a little bit more beach ready in the end of December. And now we'll go ahead and use our blush. This is the Butter Blush in Natural Glow. This looks like a really just nice peachy nude color. I have been really curious to try these because I do love the formula of the bronzer so much. This is going to be a fairly light shade though. I don't know if you guys will even be able to see that. I wouldn't say it's shimmery, but it definitely has that same satin feel that the Butter Bronzer does have. Whew. It's pretty, wow, this is pretty dusty. I'm gonna just like blend that on the back of my hand first. It is a pretty dry, dusty blush. Told you guys I was gonna end up tucking my hair behind my ear. Oh no. Okay, so this has a gold reflect to it. Once I put it on the skin, you can really see it come out, which can be really pretty. But if you're looking for more pigment out of your blush and you start like packing that color on, it just starts to make the skin look a little bit more textured. I don't know if the other shades would be a little different. I mean, it's a nice glowy blush. It's just the color isn't there. So when you keep trying to build it up, you just get more and more glow. So I could see throwing this on as like a quick light blush and highlighter combo. I feel like if you are much more fair than I am though, the gold in this is gonna be too dark for your skin. I think I might try to use that blush as a shadow shade and see how that works as well. But let's go ahead and go through with our butter highlighter. This is in the shade Pearl. This is not necessarily what I would pick to go with this collection just because it's a lighter pearl shade. And I feel like, you know, we've got that golden glow on the cheek. So I wouldn't think of necessarily pairing up like a pinky slight pearl with that, but let's go ahead and give it a go. So the Wet n Wild brush collection has two brushes that I think that would be really good for highlighter. You've got your typical fan brush. It is pretty loosely packed though, so that would be nice because it probably won't lay a ton of color down. And then we have this, which I'm imagining was probably meant for like a big fluffy eyeshadow brush. This reminds me a lot of the Morphe one that I like to use. Let me grab that for you guys. All right, so this is dirty, but this is the Morphe M510. So those are pretty darn good dupes. And the Morphe brush is like at least $10 itself. So I think if you wanted to try a decent dupe, this one's a little bit tighter, this one's a little bit looser, but both similar shape. This would make a really great highlighter brush as well, or for deeper blush, if you want to get a really like accurate placement, I think this would be a good one. I'm gonna be brave and go through with, well, maybe we'll use the fan brush on one side and then the other one on the other side. I don't know why I'm packing on more texture onto my cheeks. I don't like it. It's really dusty. Why is that happening? I feel like the bronzer is so creamy. I don't know if it's just that it's this pearly shade. Like I feel like over that golden shade, anything is gonna look a little bit more textured. I think I'm going to try using this as a little inner corner highlight just to see what it's like when I haven't loaded on a pound of blush. I don't like it. It doesn't blend out really smoothly. It's kind of like flecky, not like glittery flecky, but very powdery. I don't like it. That's such a bummer. I guess that's one thing about buying a set of minis is you're investing about the amount of one of the products or maybe two, and you get to try a bunch of things. So hopefully there's something in the kit that you like. All right, we have 4 brushes that could be used for eyeshadow or concealer. I don't usually use a brush to conceal, but this would be a great one for concealer or to lay a shimmer shade all over your lid. You've got another flat shader that would be great for lid shades, and then you've got 2 fluffier brushes. This one's more like a crease, and this one is definitely like more of a blending brush. I'm gonna use that in this duo. This is Barefoot in Brazil and Sundown. So I'm gonna take that creamy, it's like a dark vanilla shade, and put that all over from lid to brow bone. This is just gonna serve as a base, and then we'll be able to use this to kind of like blend those other shadows over the top of it. Like I said, I think I'm gonna use that blush as a shadow shade. I think it might be pretty, like in the crease. I'm gonna take the smaller of the flat shaders. Ooh, this is a pretty firm brush. All of these products are like really powdery, so be careful. Tapped off the excess of that. And I'm gonna press this into the lid. Well, I will say that this has some nice pigment to it. I know a lot of people put on their shimmer shades with their fingers. I just can't get down behind using my fingers a lot. I just feel like I always dig my finger into the pan, or I don't have accurate placement and then the shadow gets everywhere. So if anything, I will just take some and press it right on the center of the lid, especially like if I'm doing a halo eye or something. But I usually just like to use a really nice flat shader. My favorites is the old Wayne Goss. I don't know if it was a number 12. He doesn't even make that one anymore, but I have several of them that I've just like hoarded and hold on to. You could get this whole set for less than what you'd get one Wayne Goss brush for, so that's something to be said. But I mean, there are definitely some great, like Sigma makes some great flat shader brushes as well, so you can definitely find some things in a great price range. This is doing a pretty good job. I am going to take my finger and try to use this shade on the lid. These shimmers have a much more creamy consistency, which is pretty normal. Yeah, see, I managed somehow to get some underneath my eye. 2 seconds and I've already made a mess. So I'm just taking that bigger fluffy brush and using that blush shade to blend this out a little bit. I think that this could make a really nice shade, but it obviously doesn't go that great with the gold eyeshadow. I'll take the same fluffy brush, go into the butter bronzer and overlap that in our crease. I used this, I think, in my Fresh in 15 video where I did my whole face of makeup in 15 minutes. So I know that this one is one that I like because I really do like using this as a quick crease shade. If you guys want to see my tips for getting out the door really quick, I'll link that video. I really love that video. Also, you get to see me panic in trying to get done in 15 minutes, which is kind of funny. So somehow I have managed to get gold fallout all underneath my eye. I don't know if it's from the shadow or if I like use my finger. That's not cute. All right, I took a moment to sort of compose myself because this was going crazy. I had so much gold fallout underneath my eyes from that gold shade and nothing was really looking good. So I went through and I added a little bit more of that concealer just to try to help cover up that fallout. And then I just went through with a coat of L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I really like that mascara. Every time I use it, I'm like, man, one coat just gives you so much lash. So all in all, I feel like, I mean, this eye look turned out okay. It's not something I'd probably ever need to recreate. I do think I like that blush as a shade on the lid. I think it would be a good like wash all over for a peachy glow, or it did work out in the crease once I added a little bit of that bronzer as well. All right, now I will say, just a little heads up, I do really enjoy these lip creams. I would say that that's probably going to be one of the saving graces of this purchase. These are very pigmented, creamy, buttery lip products. It's exactly like what it says. It's like a buttery lip cream. I would say they're almost like a hybrid between a lipstick and a lip gloss. So we have 3 shades. I'm sorry I don't have the last one, which I think is like Pinkini or something like that. I did like that one as well. It's very pigmented. So I'm imagining that these others will be the same. So we have in the kit of 3, I have Mauvin to Brazil. This is a really pretty, like your lips but better shade. I think that's going to be super nice. And then the other one I have from that kit is Acai Berry, which is going to be more of a, whoa. Can you guys see that? It like just smushed onto my hand. What is that? Okay, it's winter in Wisconsin here. It's not like it's super hot, and that just got smushed. I'm gonna just chalk it up to maybe I used too much pressure. So word to the wise on that. But that's also a very pretty shade. I wonder if I can like sheer it out a little bit more, because obviously under normal circumstances you wouldn't gloop that much on. So that's a really pretty berry shade. And then we have the one that was in the butter box with all of the other face products is Beijos. I'm embarrassing myself here. And this looks to be like a frosty, yeah, it's almost like a NARS Orgasm-y kind of peachy frost shade. That one I think would be really pretty over like a lip liner, but I think that that frostiness is just going to be a little too much for naked lips. So let's go through with Mauvin to Brazil. I think that that would be a nice, just your lips but better shade. Like I said, I do really like that Pinkini shade as well. I think that's what it's called. I'll leave it down below in case that's not what it was, but I'm really pretty sure that that's what it is. So you could obviously use this with a lip liner. Maybe I'll add one at the end just so you guys can see that, but this is just going to be the color on its own. And I am going right over the top of that lip mask, which, by the way, I do really like that so far. And these have that same guava scent that that lip butter had, so I really like this. The one thing is, in the more pigmented, deeper shades, I would really recommend using a lip liner because that's obviously going to like spread out on your lips. So keeping it in control with a lip liner would probably be perfect. But I think that this is a really pretty shade. It's a little bit, it's like a cooler toned mauve. I think that that's super pretty. Obviously, that's maybe not something that you would normally put with a gold and peach eye look. So Let me go ahead and grab a lip liner and I'll add that on just so you guys can see what that would look like. So here we have the color Mauve into Brazil with Jordana Easy Liner in Baby Berry. I love these Jordana liners. They're like so great for so inexpensive. Now, I will say you're going to want to put on the lip liner first and then the lip butter. Obviously, when I went and was going through, it was sort of like pretty slippy to get an accurate line. And then if you do put the liner on first, it does help prevent some of that bleeding. All right, so let's see what this is like. This is that Butter Paradise Eau de Toilette. It definitely has that beachy, like coconut sunscreen scent. Not what I thought it was gonna be. It's very pina colada and really sweet. So I could see this for someone who likes that sweeter scent. It's almost like pina colada, kind of banana. It's definitely super sweet. I could see throwing this in a beach bag. This is very reminiscent of like Bath and Body Works sprays, right? So pretty youthful, not necessarily what I would say is a more like elegant scent, but I think it'll be good for summer when you just need that little pick-me-up, or if it's winter and you just want to pretend like it's the summer. All right, to me, I think that we had some really big hits and some pretty big misses with this. I would say that Baby Butter box with all of the face products, I'm glad that I got it because it was a relatively inexpensive way for me to try a few of the other butter products, especially since I did get the discount on Cyber Monday. But honestly, out of them all, I already know I like the bronzer. The travel size will be nice to have, but it definitely isn't something that I needed. The highlighter for me is a big no-go. I don't know if it's just that shade, but it honestly just seemed kind of like flecky and powdery. Didn't blend out nice. That blush shade for me is not going to be something I wear as a blush. Like I said, like it is an eyeshadow, but basically now I have another single eyeshadow and I don't grab for those all that much, but it will be easy for a peachy wash of color. The eyeshadows were so-so. Like, I don't necessarily think I will ever reach for that, and I can't see purchasing a Physicians Formula eyeshadow palette now that I know that I'm so about the formula. Really, you can get some pretty nice palettes at the drugstore or at drugstore prices, and so I don't feel the need to go out and purchase some Physicians Formula eyeshadows now. So really, I think that this butter box was a great way for me to try and see what I liked. I do also really like this darker sculpting shade in the Mocha. I think I'm really going to enjoy using this. I love both, but this one does have a bit more cool tone, and when used with a light hand, it actually worked beautifully. And I think that those Wet n Wild brushes were a pretty good deal. If you're looking for an inexpensive set of brushes, or you think that there's someone that would really enjoy this like peachy beaded look, I would really give it a go. So if you guys are interested in that brush set, like I said, it was at Walgreens in the little holiday set aisle for 50% off. So hopefully there are still some out there that you can snag. Now, as far as the lip kit, I really like this mask. I'm going to be interested to see how it stacks up to the agave. It is limited edition, which is kind of a bummer, but maybe that's something that they'll bring out again. And of course, these are great. I really enjoy this shade. If you want something that's a little bit more finished, then you can easily add a lip liner first, but this is definitely something that could quickly go in your purse and be just fine. I have a feeling that with the formula, don't leave it in hot weather. It's probably going to be something that melts pretty quick in a tube. So that's my final thoughts. Like I said, some hits, some misses. That's what it's all about, right? Trying some new makeup. Thanks guys for sticking around. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hopefully I've saved you guys some money on some of the things that I wouldn't recommend purchasing. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really do hope that this video was helpful. If you're not subscribed already, please consider it. I'd love to have you join me here, and I will see you guys really soon.